I want to share in this video just some tips for parents who have got teenagers who may be particularly suffering from anxiety. First of all, I just want to let you know that science has found that during our teenage years, the brain is still developing. In fact, it doesn't fully mature until we're about 25 years old. And the part of the brain that develops first is actually the anxiety center, the stress center, the amygdala and the surrounding area. And one of the last parts of the brain to develop is actually the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of the brain where we make the right decisions, we decide what's right or wrong, what's wise, what's not wise. And so that's why even teenagers need the help of older folk, of adults, parents, guardians, who can give them wisdom, who can give them guidance. So bear that in mind, that our teenagers, because that amygdala is developed before the other parts of the brain, especially the prefrontal cortex, they are more easily guided by their emotions, their feelings, and that explains a lot of the sort of things that we see going on with teenagers. So if you have teenagers that are particularly suffering from anxiety at the moment, here are 6 tips that are really going to help you. The first is to ask you, how are you? How are you as a parent or a guardian? What's the anxiety levels like in you? And the reason I ask that is because whatever anxiety you're carrying, your children will pick that up and it will affect them too. So you need to maybe watch the other video on dealing with anxiety, and I would really suggest tips like having times out of 3, 4, 5 breathing, just sitting quietly, practicing gratitude, saying things that will just help you to calm down and to be hopeful and positive about the future. Okay, so number 1 is to think about how are you. Number 2 is to think about what's the atmosphere in your home. And the atmosphere in your home is determined by what comes out of your mouth. So what are you saying about the world, about our future, about your future? So while on the one hand, you may be facing financial issues, worrying about the global economy or about coronavirus, it's okay to be honest and to be real and to be saying things like, yes, the world is in a tricky place. Coronavirus, we're not sure when that pandemic will end. But you should always finish what you say with the words, but. But we're trusting in God in this house. Yes, the economy is difficult, but we know that God will provide. He will give us wisdom on how to improve our finances. So always be speaking positive, even if you have to verbalize and say what is going on in the world. Because the words that you say change the atmosphere of your house for positive or negative. Number 3, listen to your teenagers. To have some downtime when you sit down and you allow them to express their true feelings. Encourage them. Give them time to really tell you what they feel without trying to fix it or give them a solution. Teenagers just need some time to be heard. And some psychologists even talk about allowing your teenagers to actually put down their feelings on a piece of paper, to write down how they're feeling. Not necessarily with you giving them solutions, but to just say, I see how you feel. Yes, I can appreciate it's a challenging time. So get them to write down these feelings on a piece of paper and then put the piece of paper away in a safe place, and you may be able to go back to it later to help them at a different time. But that just makes them feel respected, acknowledged, heard. Number 4, be someone who praises your teenager. So whatever good things they're doing, just say, oh, well done. I love the way you did that. I love the way you helped your younger brother or sister play football. I love the way that you did the washing up today. Hey, great job with your bedroom. It's looking great today. So Try and minimize all the critical words or telling them off, telling them what they've done wrong, to really keep that to minimum or absent, because what your children need to hear from you is praise and affirmation. The fifth thing is to enable them to have times of connection, because science now shows us that connection is very important for the brain, because the brain releases chemicals like oxytocin, serotonin, which helps us to feel safe and at rest. So how do we do connection? It could be with Zoom calls with their friends or youth group or youth pastors. They could you can now play online games on your phone with a community of young people or family, extended family. Maybe just have some times of connection with you at home, play board games, or just watch a movie together that's funny and uplifting. So that's times of connection. And sixth thing is help them to have a routine. So plan with them how a day could look like. You need to get up at this time. Let's do so many hours of work, schoolwork or reading, but then let's have so many hours of some fun, some outdoor fun or exercise. And then let's have some time when we do something as a family, like cooking together or baking, or just some projects that are important to do as a family, but has times of connection and talk together. So that's all for now. I hope those tips are helpful. Try them out, even if you just do one new thing a week. And I hope it's going to really bless you. Thank you.